by now you're wondering, well, how did the Vril know about Lucifer? Uh, Lucifer's a serpent, is a lizard, and the Vril are lizards. They are serpents. Let me tie something else in together with that. They think our God destroyed their nursery planet with a biblical flood, and they know that the line of Cain was intentionally wiped out because that was the Vril's line. And the Vril, led by their physical representation of Lucifer, let's, I don't know what we should name him, but Satan's version of Adam, S. Adam, Satan's Adam, and he took the real Adam, our Adam's ex-wife Lilith, and they had children together. And God, our God, being the merciful and wonderful God that he actually is, he gave their descendants a chance to go off planet. And they did. And there have been carvings of stones or carvings on stones depicting a lizard-like race leaving the planet on spaceships. And they're coincidentally about 12,000, they think, years old, and that's about half the time it takes for what's called a precession of the zodiac. And it's also known as a great year, which we're halfway through in the dawning. Actually, I think we're about at the end of it because this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, so it all restarts and resets. And this does happen. And this planet, this 10th planet, Nibiru, planet X, is on a huge orbit that comes back around exactly at this time every 12,000 years. So, twice during every great year, this planet makes its orbit around our solar sun. And this time, though, we don't have the dinosaurs here because they were supposedly, killed off. Our understanding of carbon dating is a little bit skewed, so we're not even sure the finer institutions that are responsible for telling us the true date or dating of things is accurate. And now these finer institutions have come under suspicion of late that they're the very institutions destroying the evidence upon which our history is based. And that helps lead to the conundrum and confusion and the obstruction of our knowledge, in effect, to assist in the dumbing down of all of Americans. In fact, possibly the entire planet. And these Luciferian lizards, don't forget, started from the same Adam and Eve. No, excuse me. I know we've been told that Cain came from Adam and Eve, but Cain came from Satan's Adam and Eve. Oh, you don't think she knew him in the biblical sense? When you know that that's a euphemism for they had sex, when you're looking in the Bible and it says she knew, she partook of the tree of knowledge, and it's in the Bible, so that'd be in the biblical sense. That would be the very definition of she knew him in the biblical way. And all this time we think Eve is this incredible seductress and temptress, and she's a victim. Her role in history has not been accurately portrayed. Women throughout history since Eve have had to represent womankind knowing that Our first primal mother, Eve, was a seductive temptress. And yes, women are seductive and temptresses. That's the wonderful thing about women. But Eve was a victim. And reread that section in the Bible and see if you can't see it for what it really was. Lucifer set upon this planet his own version of Adam, Satan's Adam, Saddam, not Saddam, but Saddam, and pronounce it whatever way you want. Um, he seduced Eve, pretending to be Eve's husband, and he raped her that day. He left her naked, alone, afraid, and pregnant, and her first child was Cain. Remember, think of the term sins of the father. Cain was the world's very first murderer. He murdered his own brother, lied about it to God, hid the body. That sound like a righteous, upstanding man? Or does that sound like the son of the devil? Because it was the son of the devil right here on earth. And at the time, humans were much larger then. We have skeletal proof. Remember the institutions I was telling you about just a second ago? About hiding the evidence of that? I know it sounds preposterous, but there were giants upon Earth. We were much, much larger than we are now, and that's part of the fall of man. If you think about it, to fall means to lessen from a greater height. So if we again extrapolate the term and what it means, the fall of mankind could mean the smallification of mankind. We've been genetically altered to become smaller and smaller and smaller. That way, the Vril will get or remain as large as they are. They're on a planet with a much denser, richer atmosphere, one with more nitrogen than what our own now has. And if you think about it, that's why this planet is being groomed for their return. The temperature is being heated up because it needs to be a little bit warmer. Lizards are much more comfortable in warmer environments.